Nicole Reyhle coming to you from ASD Market Week, and joining me today is Dennis O'Keefe from Workfull. Welcome.
Happy to be here.
So Dennis, Workfull provides powerful solutions to empower employees. And when it comes to empowering employees, it's so important for retailers, by the way. What insight can you offer to really help accelerate that push for merchants?
Sure. You know, I think the number one step is you have to realize the value in it. Realize the value in engaging your employees, giving them a reason to come to work in the morning, and once you feel passionate about it, that passion is going to disperse to them, and it's going to be reflected in how much more productive they are, and essentially that's going to drive revenue.
Absolutely. You make a great point in driving revenue and also building that company culture.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So I talk to a lot of small business owners, and one of the questions I ask them is can you tell me what your mission statement is? And if you know what it is, can you tell me, do your employees know what it is? You know, and if you don't have a strong mission statement that your employees are able to embrace, it's impossible to have company culture.
Right.
But once you get it, it's like hanging out with your friends all day. It's awesome.
That's fantastic. I love that mentality. And when you're building that company culture, you're also refining the company experience as well internally. That looks at HR a bit.
It does.
And I'm not going to lie, from what I hear, sometimes that can be a little bit pushed to the side for merchants to handle.
Yeah. People don't typically put HR processes front and center. You're worried about sales, you're worried about inventory, but at the end of the day, if your HR processes aren't in place, your employees are going to have problems that slip through the cracks, productivity is going to go down, and you're going to have a higher turnover rate. So you want to get processes in place that get your employees engaged and attract top talent, because
that's a great point.
That's what's going to be your moneymaker.
Yeah, and from an HR perspective, you cross the boundaries when it comes to Workfull and what you guys offer retailers to help streamline that process.
Sure.
But you know, I'm thinking you have to submit tax forms every year. You have to handle payroll. You have to train your employees. I mean, what can you tell us about HR that retailers really need to know and they really need to fine tune?
I can tell you that it's just not as complicated as people make it out to be. And so, with Workfull, we've created a holistic platform for very small companies with 3 to 40 employees, that streamlines those tax filing processes, that streamlines your employee onboarding processes. So for the employee, they feel like you've got it together. You know, it just feels seamless to them. And for you, you actually do have it together.
Right.
So when it comes to filing your forms, you're clicking buttons. You're not spending all day doing it.
And all of a sudden, what used to be maybe at the bottom of the to-do list is now easily at the top because it's so easy to do.
Because it's simple to do. That's right.
That's
you knock
fantastic.
it out, it makes you feel productive. For sure.
I love that. And the productivity is such a big point. When it comes to productivity in retail, what's one of your number one tips that you tell retailers in terms of strengthening their efforts?
When we're talking about productivity, give your employees a goal. Be transparent about what your goals are for your company. Let them know what you're trying to do this quarter. Let them know what you're trying to grow to by the year end, so that they have something that they can look at and try to achieve. Because when they get that going, they get amped up about it, it is going to have a powerful impact on your revenue goals.
I love that. It's all about revenue too when it comes to retail.
For sure.
So let's talk about that to-do list that seems to be never ending for retailers. From timesheets to expenses, so much more. There's a lot for them to accomplish. How can retailers better manage those things on their to-do list?
Well, you know, an easy win for small business owners is finding a software partner, whether it's Workfull or somebody else, that already has a streamline for those processes. So for instance, with the Workfull platform, we have your expense reports, your timesheets, your PTO tracking, all in one application. So if your employees are clocking in and out properly, and when you go to run payroll, you're hitting a button, it's pulling in all that data and shooting out the direct deposit paychecks. So you're not spending half a day looking at timesheets, reconciling them to your payroll reports, looking at the expense reports. it's all in one spot, and it does the work for you.
I love that, because right now in retail, technology is such a strong conversation, and too often smaller retailers in particular are a little bit timid about introducing automation and technology into their business. But this really makes sense because it opens up time, and I think time is money when it comes to business.
Time is money,
right?
absolutely.
And from everything I hear, Workfull, and from what we've been discussing today, time is what you're gaining when you implement these types of efforts into your business.
That's correct. That's correct. And you know, time is one of those things that you don't get back. And right now, the national statistic is that small business owners are spending 68% of their time working in the business. That's time that you can't spend trying to grow the business, trying to drive revenue, trying to help your employees become better. That's doing stuff like managing timesheets and running payroll. So for a lot of small companies feel intimidated by it, but if you find the right software partner, you can ease a lot of those pains, and you can get back to owning your business.
That's a great point. Time is money, and retailers want to make money. So I would say, let's open up some time, right?
Sure.
Thank you, Dennis. You shared some great insight. This is Nicole coming to you from ASD Market Week, where we're sharing expert insight from our various industry leaders direct from the floors of ASD Market Week. Join us again.